ready to explore the Hebrew roots of your Christian faith? Then grab your Bible and let's get started. Shalom and welcome back to Tuesday night Torah Studies. Most definitely glad today is another day on this earth today through the tough times and things that's going on. We have actually been having a very busy last 2 weeks, maybe about 3 weeks. Now things are beginning to slow down since we have completed all the required annual biblical feasts of the biblical year. We still have about 5 months left in this year, which means we still have, in the meanwhile, we have the weekly Sabbaths and we have the monthly Sabbath with the renewed moons until we get to Passover, unleavened bread, and the other early year feast. Just want to plug this in about the renewed moon. It is not about worshiping, praising, lifting up, giving any glory to the moon. It's all about Yehovah's calendar on how to count the months in the years and the seasons. I'm going to put a link in the description box just to give you that are new to the Hebrew roots and to the channel about what the renewed moon is about. So we all done with the annual biblical feast. So once again, we still have the weekly feast and we have the monthly feast remaining throughout the biblical year. I am not neglecting Hanukkah or Purim or other Israel feasts that is instituted by the people. You know, they instituted because it was based off a victory of a battle, of a war that was won. And that's fine. You can honor those days, no problem. But for me, I'm continuing to focus on the ones that Yehovah had instituted. Now, as we speak of Israel and the battles and the wars that they were given victory over by Yehovah, my prayers go out to the people in the land of Israel today due to the current war they are experiencing. My heart and my prayers go out to you and yours. My prayer is that Yehovah will be with you and that this will quickly be resolved and peace will return. Peace will return back to the land. That is my prayer. So today we are in the book of Genesis. We are in Genesis chapter 46. Welcome to Reconcile the Kingdom, where we're working towards growing in a harmony of the whole word of truth. My name is Patrice Robinson, and I greatly appreciate all of you who was able to stop by on today and allow me in your face or video, or however way that you're watching this. So I'm greatly appreciated. So if this is your first time visiting, I welcome you. Your 5th time, your 10th, 20th, or 200 or 400th time visiting me. I greatly appreciate you allow me to come into your home. But I also hoping that before you hit that subscribe button, that you're taking the time out and look on the YouTube channel and see what this ministry is about. That you're taking a look at least what I call the 5 foundational picks to give you an understanding what this ministry is about before you hit that subscribe button. Because I want you to think about what you're getting yourself into. Don't just jump and hit that subscribe button. So if you have the time to take a look at that, I'm inviting you to join this family. Join this family that does not mind searching the scriptures. A family does not mind challenging what the religious systems have been teaching for hundreds of years. A family that is open to being a lifetime student of the Bible, and that you're ready to explore the Hebrews of your Christian faith. Because again, you have to be ready for this. And all you have to do is easy to join this family. Hit that subscribe button below. Don't forget the bell. The bell is important because it lets you know when I'm live, any announcements, or any updates. And don't forget, if you have, if you are watching me through YouTube, you most definitely can take a look at the community tab. I also put little announcements and things in that area too, so you have a double fold advantage in that way. But that is the way that you can become a part of this family. But that is not the only way that you can support this ministry. You can easily support this ministry by making comments, respectful comments, sharing the link when you're live and when you are watching this on the replay. Because you know, my motto is if you learning something, someone else can learn something. Give me a thumbs up and let me know that you like the biblical content that you are receiving. And it also, that thumbs up is a great support because it lets YouTube also know they need to send the ministry out to more people. Those things are important. All the things that we talk about when supporting the ministry. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Spotify, YouTube, and YouTube podcasts for those who have YouTube membership. Shop in the online digital shop. On the online digital shop, we have individual Bible companions and individual workbook companions that I have developed specifically for those who are exploring the Hebrew roots of your Christian faith. And right now, because of the seventh biblical month and all the celebrations and all the annual feast and everything that's in it, in this seventh biblical month, everything is on sale for 50% off until October the 17th because it's very busy and people can't get into the shop like they want to, because especially on the Sabbath day and the high Sabbaths, no shopping in the digital online shop if you can respect that. Donate in the love jar. Donate in the love jar to partnership with me so I can focus on growing this ministry. Any amount is a blessing. You just don't know how much it costs to expand and to grow and to do things when it comes to the ministry. And I don't want people to just think about money. It seems like when there's money in ministry, people normally are nervous about those type of things, and I can understand that. So donating is your choice. Be led by the spirit of Yehovah on what you should be doing. But all the things that we talked about supporting the ministry, you can find in the description box. And you can take a look at this doing the replay, even doing the live. You're able to take a look at that, or you can wait till afterwards. So those are the many ways that you can support the ministry that I will most definitely have that's available in the description box for you to take a look at. I don't want you to forget at the end of this teaching, you have an opportunity to ask questions while I am live. That's one of the reasons why I went live is because I want you to interact and have a way to communicate questions that you have when you're exploring this journey, a way to have live interaction and not a recorded video. So that's the sole purpose of me going live so that we can have this interaction. And don't get me wrong, if you're watching this on the replay, you're able to ask questions because I still address those questions. So again, I'm encouraging you to ask questions. I'll address those at the end of the teaching if there are any. I encourage you to make comments. You most definitely can make respectful comments even if you don't agree, and sharing the link throughout the teaching. So we always begin our teaching with the previous week teaching and chapter. So I'm going to pull up my sheet from the workbook. This is from the Genesis workbook that's available. Again, 50% off. Just take a look in the shop and you can get the price on that. So we was on Genesis chapter 45 last week, and if I would title Genesis chapter 45, which I normally don't put any titles when it comes to the chapters and stuff, when we do Torah studies, and usually when we do the books of the Bible, I try not to put any titles or subtitles in those areas. I would normally do those on separate teachings. So Genesis chapter 45 is all about Joseph's heart. We've seen a whole 360-degree change in Joseph's heart in chapter 45. Joseph's heart turned from anger and bitterness that he had against his brothers to hugs and tears. And he even cried out loud, and all the Egyptians, the Egyptians heard him. The other people have heard him because he had cried out so loud. I find that just that heart change was important. After he had his heart changed, although his brothers were still stunned at who he was, Joseph jumped right into planning because he had this planning and development mind because that's what he's been doing the entire time that he actually been in Egypt. Even when he was Potiphar's slave, he still was over all that Potiphar had. Now he's over all that Pharaoh had. So he's always been in that planning and development strategies and all that in his mind. So he went straight to planning. He began to talk to his brothers about there's been already 2 years of a famine, and we have 5 more years. So here are your next steps. Go get my father, come back here if you want to survive, and you will live in Goshen. I truly believe that what has changed Joseph's heart in this chapter, this is going into my insight, is that Judah was standing and offering himself for Benjamin and, of course, the other brothers. I think when he seen the change in Judah and how Judah advocated so much that not let the others to suffer take me, he seen that heart change because remember Judah is the one that suggested to sell Joseph. So when he seen that heart change, I think that's what changed Joseph's heart. I also believe that if the wagons did not show up back in Canaan to go get the father Israel, that he wouldn't have believed that Joseph was alive. I think those wagons is what convinced him. So this is my key points, my insight for Genesis chapter 45. I had no word study. My cross reference is Psalms 27:13 through 14 on wait on Yehovah. So it's not exactly a cross reference to correlate with Genesis chapter 45, but it was a cross reference to me of that the scripture that came to me when I was reading Genesis chapter 45. I have no questions. So, as usual, I will leave my sheet up for a moment so that you can take a look, that you can also make comments, that you can ask questions, anything about the key points to be spoke on today. You can ask questions and comment on that too. So, once again, I'm going to leave that up. And so, we are going to Genesis chapter 46. This is not what I will call a long chapter. It is actually it's a pretty short chapter, but it is also important for us to understand. Everything that's written in the Word of Jehovah is important for us to have foundational understanding. So I hope you have your Bibles before you, all your writing utensils that you may need. Make sure that you're taking the time out on your own and taking the studies further than what I am taking you. So, Genesis chapter 46, verses 1 through 4, and we're going to just go straight to it. And Israel took his journey with all that he had and came to Beersheba and offered sacrifices to Elohim of his father Isaac. And Elohim spake unto Israel in the visions of the night and said, Israel, Israel. And he said, Here I am. And he said, I am Elohim, the Elohim of thy father. Fear not to go down into Egypt, for I will there make of thee a great nation. I will go with thee into Egypt, and I will also surely bring thee up again. And Joseph shall put his hand upon thy eyes. Just in these 4 verses, there's a lot because we do see that Israel has left Canaan, all the wagons, took everything he had, but he made a stop. He made a stop to Beersheba. Again, he's seen the wagons. He was excited that Joseph was alive, based off those wagons that was showed up in last chapter, which is why he believed that Joseph was alive. And he still was faced with reservations about going. Something was still bothering Israel about leaving his homeland. I don't know if he was afraid of how long that he might have to be end up in Egypt. I'm pretty sure they was fully aware of the environment of Egypt, but the Bible does not give us, it doesn't provide those details what was bothering Israel so much. And it may be because the promised land, but we do know he really did not want to go. However, Jehovah tells him to go and that he will actually be with him. And the most important part, I hope you didn't miss, there is where he will develop the nation while they're in Egypt. So again, Yehovah tells him to go, and that you will go to Egypt. I will be with you, and I will bring you out of Egypt after his death. So he's telling Israel that you're going to go in Egypt, develop the nation is going to be developed there, and you're going to die there. But I'm going to take your remains, and your remains will not be there because your remains going to go to the, well, we will find that out in the next couple of chapters. But his body, he dies there, but they take his body to the place where Abraham and Sarah and everyone is buried. So let's address this nation that will be developed in Egypt. Do you realize this is the first time since we've been through Genesis that Yehovah tells someone that the nation of Israel will be developed in that nation of Egypt? So Genesis 18:18, Abraham, Yehovah tell him, you're going to be great, you're going to be powerful, you're going to be a great nation, all the earth will be blessed. Genesis 15:13, this is what Yehovah says to Abram before his name turned to Abraham. Then Yehovah said to Abram, know for certain that your descendants will be strangers in the land that is not their own. They will be enslaved and mistreated for 400 years. But I will judge the nation they serve as slaves, and afterward they will depart with many possessions. So Jehovah never revealed to Abraham, never revealed to Isaac or others that Egypt will be the nation that will be enslaving them. But he tells Israel that the nation will be developed in Egypt. It's just fascinating how that works. Now, Beersheba also should be a great memory for you because Beersheba, there's a lot of events that happen that surrounds that area. And this is why he went there. One, that's the place that Hagar went to when Sarah kicked her out of the camp and, told uh, Abraham that they have to go. And so she wanders in with her son Ishmael there. And there's wells that was there. I believe Abraham built an altar in that area too. So there's more that happens in Beersheba. You should most definitely do your studies about that area. So once again, Jehovah is letting Israel know that the people will be developed, the nation that will be developed there. Verse 5. And Israel rose up from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried Jacob, their father, and their little ones, their wives, in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent to carry him. And they took their cattle, their goods, which they had gotten in the land of Canaan, and came into Egypt. Jacob, Israel is his name, and all his seed with him, his sons and his sons' sons with him, his daughters, his sons' daughters, and all his seed brought he with him unto Egypt. After speaking to Jehovah, it is clear that he must go and that nation again will be developed in this foreign land and not in the promised land. Now, the sons was in the promised land. Israel was in the promised land, but the nation has not been developed in the promised land. It will be in Egypt. So again, he received that message and he's deciding to go ahead and leave and that to obey. He decided to obey knowing that he's going to die there. He didn't run. He decided still to go when he knows that the nation is going to be developed there. I'm pretty sure that Israel, remember Jacob and Esau were twins and they was around with Isaac. And so Isaac, pretty sure that Isaac told them what Abraham had told him about um, that was going to happen to the future descendants. So he takes his children and his grandchildren and all, and he began to leave. Now, the one thing about the Bible, you don't necessarily see the word grandchildren in the Bible. So we say his sons, sons, and daughters, daughters, and things like that. That's normally how it is written in the Bible. Verse number 8. And these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Now, I want to plug this in. The names are not easy, but we should not avoid them. We have to continue learning about the names because there is some links to them. So, and these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt: Jacob and his sons, Israel. Reuben, Israel's firstborn, and the sons of Reuben: Hanok, Philiah, Hezron, Camry. And these are the sons of Simeon: Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, and Jachin, and Zorah, and Shaul, the son of the Canaanitish woman. Here we have two things. Reuben's first son, Hannah. That name is going to be unfamiliar for those who do honor and celebrate Hanukkah, because that is a huge name for the Hanakites in the book of Maccabees. So that should be familiar for those who does that. Now, if you're new to the channel, you'll begin to learn about Hanukkah. Actually, I think I have a series on Hanukkah, so you can find that in the channel. But we also have Simeon, who seemed to intermarry with a Canaanite woman. At least the last born, Shaul, is born from a Canaanite woman. So he married someone from the Ham bloodline. Remember, the Canaanites are from the bloodline of Ham. So, he intermarried someone like that, just like Judah did. So again, we have Shaul, who is from a Canaanite woman, which is from Canaanites or from the bloodline of Ham. The Canaanites is Ham's grandson. Is Canaan's Ham's son. Verse 11. And the sons of Levi: Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. Those names are important too, but we will get to that when we get further into the Torah. And the sons of Judah: and Onan, and Shelah, and Perez, and Sarah. But and Onan died in the land of Canaan. Remember, their mother was a Canaanite. And the sons of Perez were Hezron and Hamul. Perez and Zerah are the twins from Tamar, which was firstborn son's wife. He died. Onan is the second born. He married Tamar to give a seed for but he didn't do it, so he died. Shelah is one of the sons Judah, prevented Tamar to marry, so he ended up having these twins by her unknowingly, but it did happen. So even Perez and those names are important. Judah's children are again from Canaanite woman. There could be room for questioning about Tamar because it's a Tamar or Tamar, because it doesn't exactly say where she's from. It just says that married her, and which give us understanding that it's possible that she's a Canaanite woman, more likely because they was in the Canaanite land. Just keep that in mind. Verse 13, and the sons of Issachar, Tola, Pheva, Job, Shemron, and the sons of Zebulun, Zerd, Anlon, and Jalo. These are the sons of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, Panaram, and his daughter Dinah. All the souls of his sons and his daughters were 33. So these are the children and the son or daughter from Leah, from Reuben all to Zebulun. These are the children from Leah, the older sister that Israel, Jacob at that time, was tricked into marrying. So that's 33 people just along from her. Verse 16, and the sons of Gad, Ziphi, and Haggai, and Surnai, Esbon, and Ordai, and Uriel. And the sons of Asher, Dimni, and Ishai, and Isu, and Burah, and Sarah, their sister. And the sons of Burah, that's the son of Asher, grandsons are Heber and Malchi. So Asher's son had children in Canaan. These are the sons of Zilpah, which Laban gave to Leah his daughter, and these she bare to Jacob, even 16 souls. Again, these are the children from Zilpah. This is the handmaid of Leah. She had a total of 16 that came from her. 16 souls that came from her. Verse 19. The sons of Rachel, Jacob's wife, Jacob's favorite wife, the wife that he wanted, that Laban, politely did not tell him that he was supposed to, the first one had to be married first. So this is Israel's beloved wife, who she burned to him, Joseph and Benjamin. And unto Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh and Ephraim, which Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bare unto him. And the sons of Benjamin were Bela, and Besher, and Ashbel, Gur, and Naaman, Ehi, Osh, Muppi, Muppim, and Huppim, Erd. These are the sons of Rachel, which born to Jacob. All the souls are 14. Now, when I read this, I immediately began thinking about Joseph in Genesis chapter 45, 45, 44, when he began trying to set up, it was chapter 44, trying to set up for Benjamin to be, to stay with him. So it makes me think, did Benjamin already have this family? He had to already have this family for all these children to be with them to go to Canaan. So when you first read about Genesis chapter 44, when he was trying to keep Benjamin, it will make you think like Benjamin is a young man with no family. But Joseph was about 33 years old at the time when he when he met Benjamin, about 33, 34 years old, when he met Benjamin in Egypt. So Benjamin could have been anywhere between, 25, 27, maybe in his late 20s. Granted, this is a lot of children to be having in your late 20s, but he had 10 sons. So technically, if Joseph was successful, he was also taking Benjamin from his family. So, of course, was not in the plan of Yehovah, so it did not happen. So just kind of think about that, because before I read this, I was not thinking about the age of Benjamin, nor was I thinking whether he had a family or not. Verse 23. And the sons of Dan, Husham, and the sons of Naphtali, Jazel and Ganan and Jazor and Shalman. These are the sons of Bilhah, which Laban gave unto Rachel his daughter, and she bare unto Jacob. All souls were seven. So these are seven souls that came from Bilhah, which was Rachel's handmaid. So we have to think about who is who and what's going on. Again, this gives us a setup for the book of Exodus. Verse 26. All the souls that came with Jacob into Egypt, which came out of his loins, besides Jacob's sons' wives, all the souls were 66, which is 66. And the sons of Joseph, which born him into Egypt, were two souls. And all the souls out of the house of Jacob, which came into Egypt, were 70. And he sent Judah before them unto Joseph to direct his face into Goshen. And they came into the land of Goshen. So Israel had a total of 66 souls that came from Canaan, 66, 67 souls that came from Canaan to Egypt. So 66. So that's 33 from Leah, 33 from Leah, 16 from Zilpah, 14 from Rachel, 7 from Bilpah, which, yeah. And Joseph, now we're going to include Joseph and his two sons, all came from the loins of Israel. Verse 29. And Joseph made ready his chariot and went up to meet Israel his father to Goshen, and presented himself unto him, and fell on his neck, and wept on his neck a good while. And Israel said unto Joseph, Now let me die, since I seen thy face, because thou art yet alive. Man, I am sure this was a very emotional reunion. There probably was not a dry eye in the house in that day. For a father and son to be reunited after 17, 18 years being apart, especially when the father thought that the son was killed, he thought his son was dead. There was no way that he is going to be alive. This is never see him again. And he mourned for him such a long time. And to have this moment to embrace after all those years, whoo, I'm telling you, that's an emotional reunion. I don't know how long it takes to wake up and say, this is not a dream, that this is real, this is happening. He is alive. I wonder how long did it take that to settle into Israel himself, and even Jacob, Joseph himself, about his family, Benjamin and Israel. How long did that take, to settle that peace into your heart that they're there? Verse 31. And Joseph said unto his brethren into his father's house, I will go up and show Pharaoh, and say unto him, My brethren, my father's house, which in the land of Canaan, are coming to me. And the men are shepherds, for their trade hath been to feed cattle. They have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. It shall come to pass, when Pharaoh should call you and should say, What is your occupation? That you should say, Thy servant's trade have been about cattle from our youth even until now, both we and also our fathers, that ye may dwell in the land of Goshen. For every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians. So I find this very interesting, because After the embrace and the love and the you know, reunion, again, Joseph had to go straight into planning. So he is now ready to prepare his family for the Egyptian way to live. He's asking and preparing them about their occupation. And this is what you're going to tell Pharaoh. Being a shepherd is an abomination. It's an abomination to have this occupation to the Egyptian, which is, yeah, I don't even like that word. This is just downfounded. What do you say about a group of people who thinks you lower because you have an occupation that they need? Because you need the shepherds in order to do the work, for so you can eat. If you're going to eat the cows and if you're going to eat all these animals and clothing that comes from these animals, this is a lot of meals that's coming. This is a lot of clothes and stuff that's deriving from these very animals. And you're saying that occupation is an abomination to you. I just find that, you know, and I don't even know a word for it. It's a class. I thought it was class, discrimination, or is there something else? Because I'm pretty sure the Hebrews were not the only shepherds around. So I kind of wonder how that went, with the other shepherds. Just curious and how things went for them. So I don't see any questions or any comments and things that I need to address on this live premiere. And you most definitely again able to send those to me during the replay. So don't forget to join me at 10 o'clock a.m. on Saturday. We on Judges chapter 18, and next Tuesday we'll be on Genesis chapter 47. Again, send those questions and comments, share the link. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and have a blessed rest of the week. As always, man does not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yehovah. Have a blessed rest of the week, and I will see you on Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m. Thank you.